Hey guys, it's Simeon. This is Pro Wrestling Unlimited as we are here on the 13th of April 2020 to talk about everything that went down tonight on Monday Night Raw. And I do have to say, it's just me tonight. No Nick. Nick was unable to watch Raw tonight, so I'm taking it solo. Thank you, Jack Dawson, for subscribing at the donation tier. We really do appreciate that. We appreciate everybody that does subscribe here as a member to the PWU Unlimited YouTube channel. It does really help us out when you guys do subscribe at any tier we do have set, whether that's a donation or the mid-card tier. I highly do appreciate that. So let's see who's here with us in the live chat before we start talking about tonight's Raw. Got Derek Bocek, got Jack Dawson, got Wayne Montgomery, Kristen McNutt, Sinclair Saturday, Nelson, Broken King Slender, Hated Dragon 791, and so many more of you. So to be completely honest, I liked tonight's Raw for the most part. I thought tonight's Raw was pretty good. I thought it was a well put together show for the most part, you know. But there was, I would say there were some things that weren't that good. It was not that they weren't things that weren't good. It was things that weren't needed, I felt. So the show kicks off. Tom Phillips, Byron Saxton, and Jerry Lawler on commentary. And there's one of the things not needed. Jerry Lawler. Because Jerry Lawler was actually pretty annoying tonight. After airing a lengthy video of Drew McIntyre from WrestleMania, McIntyre came out to the ring. He spoke into the camera and thanked the fans for letting him into their living rooms. He said the rest of the roster shared his sentiment as well. He also thanked everyone for the support after winning the championship. He called it a lifelong dream and noted that he beat Brock Lesnar within 5 minutes and then showed us a video of him in the Big Show and all that stuff. McIntyre said that... Where am I? Sorry about that. McIntyre said that he showed what kind of champion he really is and that he deserved to have the title. U.S. champion Andrade and Zelina Vega would then interrupt. Give me 1 second, guys. Andrade and Zelina Vega would come out, and Vega called Andrade the real champion of Monday Night Raw. Vega said that McIntyre had 2 WrestleMania moments in one night, but an injury robbed Andrade of his. Vega spoke. McIntyre interrupted. McIntyre recalled Andrade pinning him for the NXT Championship and injuring him, causing him to lose 6 months of his career. McIntyre said that he left that match with a torn bicep. McIntyre then accepted the challenge of Andrade. He said, Andrade, she speaks for you. You can't speak. Andrade then said that he would take McIntyre's title and take him out one last time tonight. He said, no more Mr. Nice Guy. So it'll be champion versus champion later on tonight, but no title on the line. That's where I was confused. I was like, oh, wait. Is there a title on the line tonight? I didn't know because they didn't make it clear if there was or not. The first match we got was a women's qualifier, women's Money in the Bank qualifier, that is. It was Osku against Ruby Riot, and this was a really good match. I felt these two worked really well together. Osku danced to Riot's music. I am getting a little annoyed with the Osku dancing kind of deal, and I don't know. Excuse me. They fought on the outside, and Osku took over after a kick to the head to Ruby Riot. After commercial break, they went back and forth until Osku countered a Riot kick with an ankle lock. She followed this up with a German suplex and a Shining Wizard. Riot came back with a running boot in the corner and a clothesline to the back of the head. Osku momentarily caught her in an Osku lock, but Riot turned it into a cover for a 2. Riot then hit a flatliner and only got a 2. Osku soon followed this up with the Osku lock again, getting the submission victory, picking up the victory. Osku moves on to Money in the Bank. Afterwards, Charlie Caruso was in the ring, tried to get a word with Osku. Osku grabbed the mic, yelled in Japanese, and declared that nobody was ready for Osku as she looked up at the Money in the Bank briefcase. Derek, I don't know. We're going to talk about that right now. So next up, we were welcomed to the VIP lounge backstage with Montel Vontavious Porter. He said next week we'll be getting 3 first-time ever matches. Also, these 3 first-time ever matches are Money in the Bank qualifying matches. First match will be Rey Mysterio versus Murphy. We will then see Austin Theory versus Aleister Black, and Apollo Crews against who he said is one of the greatest ladder match competitors of all time, himself. And my first thought was, A, how many ladder matches have we really seen MVP in? And B, how many did he actually win? But MVP will be wrestling next week. Don't know why, but he is. Speaking of Aleister Black, we got Aleister Black. Sorry. So Aleister Black against Oney Lorcan in an almost 10-minute match. So this match was really good. Both guys went back and forth. They actually gave Lorcan a lot of offense on Black. Black kicked his way out of a half Boston Crab at one time and applied a leg lock, but Lorcan broke it up, got the rope break. Black then hit some strikes and a running knee, but Lorcan came back with the clothesline for a 2. Lawler thought maybe we underestimated this one guy. I think it was Lawler also that said Lorcan reminds him of Cesaro because of his look and body build. Lorcan then nailed a few chops, but Black fought back, hit him with a knee, raised the head, hit the Black Mass, and defeated Oney Lorcan in a really fun match. Sarah Schreiber then asked Aleister Black, what's your game plan next week against one Austin Theory? And he said the obvious. My game plan? The game plan is to win. I'm like, oh, okay. So then we got Becky Lynch, who they said was back. Well, I don't know where she went. And, well, this wasn't needed at all. Lynch wanted to clear up the confusion that Shayna Baszler must be experiencing. Lynch said that it wasn't really a battle of skill versus heart. It was a battle of minds. Lynch may have seemed arrogant and overconfident, but that's what she wanted Baszler to think. She said the quicker Baszler destroyed everyone going into Mania. The sillier Lynch, well, became the mind games player or something. She said something along those lines. I don't have it written down verbatim exactly what she said. But she said that she was silly for a reason. Because she was silly to make Baszler think that she was off of her game. She then basically said that whoever wins Money in the Bank can come challenge me. I'll be ready and waiting for whoever wins and wants to challenge me and lose. What was the point of this? For Becky just to come out and say, I'm not defending my title till Money in the Bank? Or till somebody wins Money in the Bank and challenges me? This was not needed at all for her to just come out here and say, oh, I'm really serious. I was just being goofy to make Shayna think I wasn't. And, yeah. Kristen, no, not doing any Twitch tonight. Thank you for the super chat donation, though. Charlie Caruso then interviewed Zelina Vega and Andrade. These people were all over the show tonight. Zelina Vega and Andrade. Which, I'm not complaining, to be completely honest. Where was I? I just lost my spot in my notes. I scrolled down and I lost it. Here we go. Found it. Vega corrected Charlie Caruso, saying that she's not pronouncing Andrade's name correct because it's Andrade, not Andrade. Vega and McIntyre had one good night. Vega said McIntyre had a good night, but Andrade has been beating challengers for months. Actually, he just keeps beating Humberto Carrillo with the title on the line. That's all it really is, to be honest. Not challengers for months. Like, Humberto, I think he beat Ray once. I don't even know if the title's on the line, though. She then said that Andrade would do to McIntyre as he deserves and beat him and eventually take his title. They then congratulated the Big Show for being the number 3 most watched show so far right now on Netflix. I actually like the Big Show. Would not hate for a second season. My kids liked it so much, they're already 3/4 of the way through a second watch through of the full first season. We then got Shayna Baszler against Sarah Logan, and this was a little confusing. Before the match, Sarah Schreiber approached Baszler backstage and asked her about Ronda Rousey's recent comments, but Baszler didn't respond. So this is one of two confusing things. Are they hyping up a return of Ronda Rousey? Is Ronda Rousey coming back to WWE? Because here's the thing. Ronda made all these comments and then sent out one final tweet saying, basically, it was all a work. And she worked the work and worked into a shoot. So I don't know what's going on with Ronda. Maybe she's coming back. Maybe she's not. I don't know. But for them to ask Baszler about it, and the last 2 times we've seen Baszler on screen, they've mentioned Ronda Rousey. Tonight they mentioned Ronda Rousey. They just said, she's like Ronda Rousey in the way she fights and this and that. And then at WrestleMania, they had mentioned that she had trained with Ronda Rousey. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Ronda. But the other confusing thing was how this match ended. Baszler beat down Sarah Logan, stomped on her arm and elbow, and the referee ended up having to stop the match. For some reason, Mike Rome then called Sarah Logan the winner because of a referee stoppage. And then on commentary, they were like, I think the referee's just confused. No, Shayna Baszler should be declared the winner. Shayna Baszler should be moving on to WrestleMania. Shayna then stormed off, threw some chairs, and walked out. So Shayna Baszler is in Money in the Bank. Mike Rome just goofed and announced the wrong winner, basically. Hey, it's live TV. It's all good. Seth Rollins stood backstage. He did a few of these weird promo deals. He just said, at WrestleMania, I lost to Kevin Owens. Once again, my career has been crucified. Okay. After break, the announcers clarified Baszler won. In fact, there you go. And they got Austin Theory against Akira Tozawa with Zelina Vega on commentary. Match went about 7 minutes. There was a lot of talk of, they were like, Zelina, Austin Theory, he's got to face Aleister Black next week. You know a lot about Aleister Black. And my thought was, oh yeah, she knows a lot about Aleister Black, her husband. And they were like, you spent a lot of time in NXT. Your client, Andrade, has had matches against Aleister Black and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, so we're just going to just not even mention it. Which I don't think they should. The marriage of Zelina Vega and Aleister Black. Anyways, Tozawa got some offense early on Austin Theory, but Theory was completely in control for a while. Tozawa then took him out with a running senton to the outside, which Lawler referred to as a ramen noodle moonsault. This racist fucker. Yes, he called a senton to the outside by Tozawa a ramen noodle moonsault. Again, this racist fucker. Tozawa then applied an octopus on Austin Theory in the ring, but Austin Theory reversed it into the ATL, his finisher, modified TKO, and picked up the victory. After the match, Andrade and Angel Garza would come down to the ring and help beat down Tozawa. Eventually, they would put Tozawa on the top rope and give him a draping hammerlock DDT off the top. They then aired a clip of McIntyre's Chronicle episode from the WWE Network. Charlie Caruso interviewed Rey Mysterio and asked what it would mean if he won Money in the Bank for the first time. Mysterio recalled being a world champion in 2010 and having the reign ended by Kane after he cashed in his Money in the Bank. Remember, Kane won Money in the Bank and in the same night cashed in on Rey. Mysterio knew that he had to beat Murphy, but he could think about being Mr. Money in the Bank after that happens. Mysterio had nothing but respect for Murphy, but Murphy doesn't want it as badly as he does. We got Rollins again. And he's standing there in the back, just looking off in the distance, and says, everything needs something to have faith in. Or everyone needs something to have faith in. I want you to know that I'm still here for you. Your Messiah has truly risen. Okay, whatever that means. We then got Angel Garza in a squash match against, I hope I say this guy's name right, Tehuti Miles. Tehuti Miles. I think it's Tehuti. Angel Garza had a rose with him during his entrance and gave it to a photographer before kissing her on the cheek. I think it looked like his real-life fiance, the chick that he proposed to in NXT. I could be wrong, but it looked like her. Garza then won real quickly with the wing clipper. Andrade and Theory came out. They beat him down and gave him the same hammerlock DDT off the top that Tozawa got earlier. So in the back, Sarah Schreiber tried to interview Asuka and Kairi Sane. They hummed their theme song upon entering the frame. Asuka said that Riot was not ready for her. Schreiber asked about Sane and her confidence level against Nia Jax. And Sane says, confidence? And Asuka says, oh, confidence. Ha ha ha, confidence. And then they walked off. Singing and dancing. I mean, it's whatever. Like, we're still caught up with Drew McIntyre. She said, I know you got a lot on your mind, but I want to get your thoughts on Zelina Vega's comments. McIntyre pointed to the scar on his arm. Said he looks at that scar multiple times a week as a reminder and thinks about Andrade almost taking his career from him. McIntyre promised to hurt Andrade and Claymore kick him. Then we got the destruction of Kairi Sane in her run because, well, she got squashed by Nia. Nia Jax flung her around the ring, then put her up in a military press, dropped her on her shoulders, and hit her with a Samoan drop that she is now calling the Annihilator. Complete 2.5-minute squash here by Nia Jax. Like, complete. Not sure what they're doing with Kairi Sane. Asuka, she's in Money in the Bank, but Sane, she's just expendable, I guess you can say. Next up, we got Charlotte Flair cutting a promo. Actually, one of the better Charlotte Flair promos in a long time because she didn't sound all robotic. And like when she would go out there and she'd be like, I am the queen of this division. No, she talked normal. Instead of saying stuff like, I've beat Becky Lynch many times. She was like, I beat Becky many times. I've beat Bayley many times. And I'm like, who flipped her switch? She's talking normal. Someone said, oh crap, you're on demo mode. Switch off of robot to human. But yeah, Charlotte actually cut a good promo. She didn't sound all robotic. She basically said the reason she challenged Rhea Ripley is A, because she's beaten both Bayley and Becky a bunch, and B, because, well, Rhea was the only one to actually step to her. She said Rhea was the next big thing, but she defeated the next big thing, proving that she is the biggest thing. Charlotte said that Vince McMahon knew she's the biggest thing a year ago when he needed her to be in the main event of WrestleMania to save that match. Charlotte said that Ripley wanted to be just like her, but she lacked the humility. She said she will be coming to NXT, and she will teach the NXT universe that, well, or the roster, I mean, that there's always somebody stronger, faster, and better. So who's stronger, faster, and better than Charlotte Flair is the question. She then said that she will remind the NXT roster and Io Shirai, who was her next challenger, what humility really means and make them all bow down to the queen. So where am I? We then got word that Edge will be on WWE Backstage this week. Believe CM Punk is going to be as well. We then got Bobby Lashley versus No Way Jose in a complete squash, basically. There was a moment where Lana was screaming on the outside, so Lashley told her, please shut the hell up. He got annoyed with her again, which led to Jose catching him in a schoolboy for a 2. Lashley followed this up with a just phenomenal spear. I love the way this spear looked. It literally looked like he went through No Way Jose. Lana and Lashley then left together after Lashley picked up the victory, but he clearly wasn't happy. And all I got to say is, hey, bro, Bob Lashley, Rusev warned you about Lana. Just saying. Rollins again in the back. Got another one of these weird, wacky things. Said, to all the non-believers, you've left me with no alternative. Tonight, I stomp out all doubt. And I say, stomp out all doubt? With what? You did nothing. Well, I mean, he didn't do nothing. He came out at the end. I mean, he wasn't doing anything here. We'll get to it. I don't know exactly what's going on with this ending, but hey, we'll see. Going forward, we got a really good tag team match. The Viking Raiders against Ricochet and Cedric Alexander. They went 13 minutes, about 16 seconds-ish. Ricochet and Alexander were in complete control early. Uh-oh. And my notes just disappeared. Let me refresh this. There we go. That was weird. I used the Google Docs and the Chrome browser I was using to read it. Literally just said no connection. But there we go. We're good now. It's refreshed. And we are back. Where was I? Scroll. Oh, there we go. So like I said, Ricochet and Alexander were in complete control early for the first 3 minutes or so until Eric launched Ricochet over the top onto Alexander. Ivar followed with a suicide dive, taking them both out, sending us to commercial break. The Viking Raiders were in control after the break until Alexander hit a low drop kick and a flatliner. Ricochet tagged in and hit Eric with a crossbody and an enziguri. Give me 1 second, guys. Oops, sorry about that, guys. My mic was off. Like I was saying, I apologize for that. Like I was saying, I thought this match was really good. A lot of back and forth action. The Viking Raiders were in control at one point until Cedric Alexander hit a low drop kick and a flatliner. Ricochet tagged in and hit Eric with a crossbody and an enziguri. Ricochet then hit a standing shooting star. Eric ducked Alexander's neutralizer and gave Ricochet a knee strike. Ivar then gave Alexander as seated senton and took out Ricochet with a clothesline. Ricochet saved Alexander from a pin, but the Viking Raiders took him out with a knee strike and a roundhouse kick. Raiders then gave Alexander the Viking experience as they picked up the victory. So here's the thing. I liked the match. I thought the match was really good. All four guys worked well together, but my issue was, why are you beating Ricochet and Cedric already? Build these guys up. I get that they got a lot of offense and looked good against the Viking Raiders, but I don't know. I don't know. Charlie Caruso then interviewed the Street Profits, who introduced us to Bianca Belair. Charlie Caruso welcomed her to Raw and asked the Street Profits about the Viking Raiders. They said that they had respect for the Viking Raiders and all Vikings everywhere. They told jokes about Vikings and gave a big thumbs up to the camera. Belair was appalled and asked when was the last time they beat the Raiders. She said they always get whooped by the Raiders, told them to focus and get that smoke. Belair was good here. I think what they're going to do with Bianca Belair is use her to make the Street Profits more serious. She's going to be like, hey, quit your goddamn jokes, get your minds in the game, and get right. I think she's going to do something like that with them, which should be fun. I think that should be something that'll work, because there's been a lot of complaints I've seen that the Street Profits are good, but their characters come off just a little too clowny. Then we got our main event. WWE Champion Drew McIntyre against United States Champion Andrade. This match started way late in the show. I'm like, ooh, this ain't going long. Match was about 5 minutes long. McIntyre was distracted on the outside, so Andrade yanked his previously injured arm onto the ring post and began working it over. A lot of people at ringside here. McIntyre came back with a clothesline and a big boot and a flying clothesline. Andrade caught him with a back elbow, and someone grabbed McIntyre's foot from the outside. McIntyre sent Andrade out of the ring with a back body drop, and he landed on both Garza and Theory. McIntyre said, "Who grabbed my foot?" before giving Theory a hard chop. McIntyre went to the top and was distracted again, this time by Zelina. McIntyre managed to fight off Andrade and gave him an inverted Alabama slam before finishing him off with the Claymore and picking up the victory. After the match, Rollins' music would hit as Garza took down McIntyre with a chop block. Rollins slid in the ring, super kicked McIntyre, and hit him with a stomp. Rollins hit one more stomp as they went off the air. So I don't get what they're doing here. They built up Andrade, Zelina, Garza, and Theory. All as this like great unit. Like Zelina's building an army. All for them just to lose to Drew and then Rollins come pick up the bones? I don't understand it. I don't get it. I assumed that Rollins would have been the next challenger for Drew McIntyre, but in the same regard, it's like, but Seth lost at Mania. Why do we want to see him challenge when he lost at Mania? But anyways, guys, that was a Monday Night Raw. I want to say thank you to everybody who did watch tonight and talk with me in the live chat about tonight's Monday Night Raw. Vegeta Lover says maybe Owens proclaims himself next in line because he beat Seth. Well, if he would have been on the show tonight. Plus, that's babyface versus babyface, and we know typically in the main feud with the title on the line, WWE likes to do heel versus babyface or babyface versus heel, unless there's a reason to do that babyface. But with that, I do want to say thank you guys for joining me here tonight. Nick should be back tomorrow as we've got another episode of The Nick and Tim Show. So with that, follow us on social media. Follow PW Unlimited on Twitter. Follow us on Facebook, PW Unlimited, or Facebook.com/Pro Wrestling ULTD. Follow us on Instagram at Pro Wrestling Unlimited. And you can follow me at TimmyBuddy on Twitter and Twitch.tv/TimmyBuddy as well. With that, have a good night, guys, and we'll see you tomorrow.